Savannah season 1.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Queers and Soaps. I'm Tommy, and as always, I'm joined by Her Highness, Aaron.
The distressed, the damsel in distress. That's what I have been this month. Hello, everyone.
Aaron had a bad day.
Yeah, I'm going to start a GoFundMe. Help get out of poverty. You would like to donate.
Well, tonight we are wrapping up season 1 of our Gone Too Soon show, Savannah. So we're covering 6 episodes. So let's roll the credits and we'll jump right into what happened. So I didn't take notes, and I thought we would take a different approach instead of going episode by episode and just talk about it as a whole. Okay. Because a lot happened, and it was very soapy and Melrose Place-ish, so I feel like we could just talk about the big stuff.
But first, every time I play one of those episodes on my television and I see that WB logo, it brings back the feels. I know we've mentioned it before, but there's just something at the nostalgia level of seeing that little 2 letters or that frog saying, Savannah's on tonight. I find myself saying that all the time. Comedies for Wednesday, Savannah's on tonight.
I know. I love the way the episodes that we watched have like the promotion for it attached to it, because it's like it heightens the nostalgia.
It does.
There was even one that like it was the end credits of a sitcom that was on before it, and it had like the cast talking. They were like, "I'm obsessed with my own show. I can't wait to see what's going to happen."
Oh man, the 90s. These were 6 very impactful episodes. A lot happened.
Yeah, and I feel like so the 2-hour pilots didn't need to be 2 hours, but it was good. And then the 4 episodes that we watched after that, it was like up and down. They were like good, not good, good, not good. And then I feel like starting with episode 7, everything just went like full force.
They were like, okay, we're in Savannah, we're in the South, it's hot. Let's turn up the heat on our show.
Yeah.
That's what they did.
So let's talk about Dean and Lane first, since they're my least favorite, and we just get them out of the way.
I was going to say, I want to love them so much because I do love Robin Lively. But them as a couple, I have nothing to root for.
I just feel like they're the least interesting part of the show. But Dean's, I think last we saw Dean's ex-wife showed back up in town after being gone for 6 months.
And just like an ex to show up unexpectedly when you least need them to.
Yeah, just as he finally gave in and slept with Lane.
I know. I was like, okay, someone's coming.
And
I was shocked he had a kid. I wasn't expecting him to have a son.
He mentioned that they had a son.
Oh, I missed it.
Yeah. I just don't think we've seen him up until this point, or episode 7 maybe. And apparently the vibes I was getting is she's always been jealous of Lane, even ever since high school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but she took jealousy to a whole new level. It's like, let me create this whole nother life just to get back at this girl.
Yeah, I
was like,
I didn't understand. She wanted to be with Dean, but she also had another relationship in Augusta that she was flying back and forth to.
I know. She was doing Lone Star before that became remember that show Lone Star where he had like, it didn't last long. It was on Fox.
No, I didn't watch that.
Okay. Yeah. It was a neat premise. It just didn't fly well with people, I guess.
I didn't understand what her goal was.
I didn't either. Was it to get freaking flyer miles? Because that's the only thing she was getting out of that. Because she didn't want her son. She didn't want her ex-husband.
And also, she's telling both of them, like her boyfriend and her husband, that she's going away for work. All right, none of them asking, where's the paychecks? Like, where's the money from all this work you're doing?
And she should live in large.
Like, is she spending all her money on these flights?
My paycheck goes into the flights for me to do the job.
I guess Augusta is a part of Georgia.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the distance is between Savannah and Augusta, but it
It's
is.
probably like, since it's in Georgia, it's probably like a half an hour flight, right? Maybe.
I would think so. It'd have to be really short.
Ugh, that's so annoying though. Like, because just traveling from in an airport, even though it's a short flight, like,
It's a lot
well,
of work.
yeah, it's a couple of hours at
Well,
least.
we have to think too. This is the '90s, so there
That's
wasn't
true.
the security checks and all of that. It was a little bit easier to probably get on a
Probably.
plane. So that
Probably.
kind of I have to remind myself. Like this show, I have to sometimes remind myself when we watch these shows from the past that yes, they can't do that now, but they could do it. Like when she got that
Yeah.
flight information, I'm like,
Yeah.
girl,
Right.
could you even do that in '96? But
But it's also an hour spelling show, so everything's
true. So we bend the rules of
um,
romance.
so yeah, her boyfriend thinks it'd be romantic to fly to Savannah with her while she works, and like she waits till they land in Savannah to throw a fit. Like, why couldn't you just do this so you didn't have to pay for the flight back and forth?
Yeah, she
um,
needed that whole plane ride to figure out what she's gonna do. She didn't know.
so she says that she would just be like a bundle of nerves, and that the boss checks in on them, and a girl got fired because she wasn't taking it serious enough. So he leaves, and they kiss goodbye, and Lane's in the airport and sees them kissing. So that's when she goes to one of the attendants the next day, I believe, and pretends to be a girlfriend who their friend met a cute guy on this flight, but she lost his name and number, and she gets all the information. And she goes to Augusta to find out who this guy is, and he says that Jeannie is his fiance.
I was like when I first found out, I was a little shocked. I wasn't expecting. I was like, oh, she's just dating someone or some kind of fling. She's cheating. No, she's had this whole previous life, and just I guess seeing Lane with Dean just set her off.
Yeah. So then she tells Dean, and they go to investigate this. And I remember, I think she was on the phone with her mother, and she said that Dean dropped the son off because he was flying to Augusta for work or whatever. So then she starts to freak out because she's putting the pieces together that maybe he's snooping around. And she makes up this lie that she had a child when she was a teenager and gave it up for adoption. And these people are trying to figure out where she is so that she can meet her biological child that she wants.
And he just fell for it too.
Yeah, when he busted in there and like he showed them like a fake picture, I didn't remember. I've seen this before, obviously, but I was like, wait, what? I was like, is he in on this? Like, what's happening?
I was like, man, that happened all fast. Then she came out of the closet, and I was like, oh, okay, of course.
Yeah,
That's very in spelling.
yeah. Dean finds out that she has been dropping the son off at the grandmother's when she flies to Augusta because he's been getting help for his drinking problem. And I loved how
lied to everyone. Not one person in her life knows the truth.
she's like, I want a little time to myself. Like, she's the most selfish person ever. And she made him feel so bad for being with Lane.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I did kind of like this story because I'm like so into it. Because they were like those shocking moments. I was like,
yeah, it still kind of bored me a little bit though.
Yeah.
But I think it's when you're in a show with Jamie Luner, it's hard not.
Who is like up here.
Yes. And she embodies that southern, like kind of just,
I love it when Peyton says sugar.
She had the like. It had to be hard to be Robin Lively and the other girl's name.
I always equate her up like the girl that played Molly on Days of Our Lives.
Because I mean, they were writing the best stuff for Peyton's character.
Mm-hmm. So I guess Dean ends up breaking up with his wife because we really don't see her once he finds out that she's been lying about all this stuff.
Yeah.
I don't remember if she comes back or not.
No, he says go away. Oh, well, I don't know if she comes back in season 2, but
yeah,
she's done for the season.
Yeah. And then Lane starts to get tips from an anonymous source that is kind of like pointing at Dean possibly corrupting the investigation into Travis's murder. And we find out that it's actually his ex-partner who had a drug problem that he snitched on, who's trying to get revenge on him.
See, I think it kind of would have been more fun if Dean would have actually done all that stuff.
Yeah.
And the good guy be Tom's brother. Because Tom's brother is one of the good guys. He was framed. He's very caring.
Yeah. Tom turned on his brother real quick.
I'm like, what did your brother do to you that you turned on him not once, not twice, but 3 times for sure?
So Peyton's really good at catching on to little details and putting the pieces of the puzzle together.
I know, I'm not. I am just like Reese.
But also, this is such plot, like driving the story because she has the best luck. Like she just finds out everything she needs to know.
They mentioned that. Edward mentions how some people are born with luck, some
Yeah.
And Peyton is the one that someone's just pouring luck on her constantly. Like there's a little luck cloud following her around.
Yeah, even though she was born poor.
I know. Oh my gosh, how sad was it that last episode when the lawyer's mom was like, "I knew you were trash the moment I saw you."
No, she said, She said, "I knew you were trash before your mama showed up."
And I was just like, "Come here, sugar. Let me give you a hug." What's sad is that's how people like that's true to the South. That's how people like that would be.
She was like, my son's just having his fun. And basically just called it trash.
Yep. Just using you, girl.
So where are we again? Oh, so Peyton finds out from Vincent, which is Tom's brother, that just from him rambling about growing up and having a teacher, and she realizes she had a teacher with the same name, and they're supposed to be from Jersey. So she goes to the elementary school and finds out there were 2 brothers back in the day that went there, but their last name was Henderson. Mm-hmm. Not Mason.
It was Henderson, not whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever it is.
There's no way, even in '96, that Peyton just walked in that school and got that information.
I laughed when the lady was like, I never forget a student's face, whatever. I'm like, that was 20 years ago. They look different.
Yeah, I thought the same thing too.
But I laughed when they were talking about the riverboat and talking about it becoming a casino, and she was like, she was like, disgraceful.
And it's still like that in the South. My town I'm from, the closest bigger city to us is getting a casino. Or they've been pushing to get a casino for years, and it's been back they're trying to stop it. Well, the Christians are trying to stop it. This idiot, or the sinners want it.
So Peyton confronts Tom about it, and he said they have a confrontation. I think it was about her getting the money for the casino equipment, and she leaves the room, and I think she says liar, and when he's by himself, he's like, bitch.
I know. They had this moment where it's like they were full course. What are you going to tell Reese that we're getting together? And then next thing you know, she's with that lawyer.
I know.
I'm like, what happened to Reese or Peyton and Tom?
Well, so Veronica and Tom almost had a bet to see who could get engaged first. So, um, oh, I liked how she moved out because this is how she was trying to get him to propose. She was like, it would be unseemly or whatever, because that's what Reese said about. That's what Edward had said about Peyton living there originally, and he didn't care about Veronica. He wanted her to stay.
I was very shocked when we found out she had been a prostitute.
Yes,
I
when he was
wasn't like
talking
I
his
knew she
friend.
was a con. We knew she's a con artist.
Yeah,
I really was not expecting them to be like, oh, she used to be a prostitute.
yeah. When that guy said he spent 5 amazing nights in New York City with her. I liked when he confronted her and she like tried to deny it. Are you okay?
Yeah. Oh yeah, my dog's over here. I don't know what she wants.
Aw.
Poor little Sophia had surgery the other day.
Maybe she just needs to be cuddled.
Yeah. You want to talk about Savannah? You watched it. What do you think? How many barks you give?
um, so he proposes to Veronica. Oh, we're past that because he finds out she's a prostitute after he proposes.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the engagement's off. Because in the next episode, he's like running for mayor, senator. He's running for something.
Senator.
Yeah. Which I felt like came out of nowhere, but okay.
I know. Well, I mean, he'd be the perfect senator. He's evil as fuck.
Oh, I loved how Peyton, because Peyton knows that he's her father, came up with the plan to like totally disgust him by drugging him by putting drugs in his alcohol, waiting for him to pass out, setting him up in bed, throwing her clothes all over the room, and then when he wakes up, goes into the shower, and it makes it look like they had sex.
I know they didn't have sex, but just the thought of like that, I'm like, ew. Just like how, like, I don't think I could have done that.
She was like, it was the best night of my life. She was just like going on, and then she was like, you offered last night to give me $50,000 to help with my mother's legal fees. And then he was like, sure. And then she like slipped in. She was like, but 60 would really help. And he was like, sure, whatever you want.
That's definitely one way to get the money you need.
Yeah, that was great.
You know, when Veronica said she had photos of Edward in that locker, I really, really thought it was going to be of Edward and Peyton. And, like, how were you going to explain that scandal?
Yeah. Oh, that was such a weird reveal so that Edward would know that they didn't sleep together. Veronica just shows up and says that she came there and saw Peyton carrying him up the stairs. Like, we didn't even see that. That was just, like, an inserted thing.
So, like, that would have been perfect to be like, oh, let me get my camera.
Yeah. Speaking of cameras, Tom set his brother up with a stolen camera, which looks like a Polaroid, by the way, in his bedroom and gets him arrested again.
I didn't buy that. I was just like, okay, he broke into a store and stole one camera. One camera.
Vincent also spilled the beans to Reese about everything, that who they really are, that their father used to own the riverboat, that their mother, or Reese's mother, was having an affair with their father, and I guess there was an accident that the mother died in.
Yeah.
And Edward somehow took the riverboat from him, and he ended up killing himself, and Tom was the one that found him. I like Reese. She's getting a little more edgier. She's still kind of like the naive good girl, but she's getting an edge to her.
Yeah, she's very much, let me think the best of everybody.
Yeah.
Like, even when she knows they are the scum, she still, I think, feels like, okay, maybe my dad's not as bad as what he says. Mm-hmm. And then another layer is peeled. It's like, your dad's worse than you thought, girl. I love the TV moment where Peyton's like, I don't want to talk to no one, and then sees Reese. It's like, sister. Has that little moment, and then the reporter is very, you saw it here first,
Yeah,
sister, friends, turn to sisters or whatever.
yeah.
I was like, what a way to steal a moment.
Like, oh, well, probably that same scene when Edward first came out. Well, first there was a paternity test, which I like the scene when they were first having the blood drawn. I don't remember what was said, but the end line was, I think they were talking about the election, and Peyton was like, "Good luck, Daddy." But then the court scene where it was exposed, where they did a confidential blood test, because the first one said that they weren't. But this was like a court-ordered one where you couldn't pay off somebody to tamper with it.
They were too scared.
Yeah, Peyton is his daughter. And he said that the reporters were hounding him, and he said, we didn't know, we didn't have blood tests, we didn't have paternity tests back then. He's like, oh, he said something like, thank the Lord for the scientific technology that we have now, or something.
I know. He has an excuse for everything.
Just the way he worded it to weasel out of it, like.
Mm-hmm. It was the same way with the women's shelter. I was like, oh, okay, well, look, they're going to be forced to do some good. That's, but then, they're just like, well, if it breaks us some money, ho, ho, ho. It's like, you evil bastard.
Yeah. And then I like how he kept promising Peyton's mother that Peyton would be taken care of, that she was in the well, and she wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
So then the mother was like, that's why the mother was like, all right, well, I'm going to expose him for who he really is. I feel like, so we had the murder at the beginning of the season, and then maybe the episode after that where the mom got arrested. And then all season, we didn't see anything, any investigation. It was just dropped. And then the last episode or two, it was like the trial, and like it's like concluding all that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, this was only a 12-episode season. Like, you really put like a lot of filler stories in between that.
Episode, I'd say 3 to 7 were kind of
just like random stuff.
Yeah, just like lackluster in a sense. It was, I mean, they're not bad, but compared to the rest of the season,
yeah,
it was lackluster.
So the mom gets acquitted.
Which, wow, I did not see that coming.
They find out that Travis apparently had a drug problem.
But he did it.
They rule it that he overdosed. While he did get hit in the head, his cause of death was an overdose, allegedly. We find out, because the mother is alone and gets drunk, that she drugged him. And that's why he overdosed. But, double jeopardy, you can't be accused of the same crime twice.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Is it? Okay. I was just...
I
mean, we know it happened to Ashley Judd, but has it ever happened in real life?
I don't think OJ can be tried.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
But
he can scream he did it.
But you can still have like civil case, stuff against you. Like,
yeah, but not federal.
I went to law school at the Days of Our Lives and Passion Academy, so I'm not 100% sure. If
very reputable law schools.
Mm-hmm. And occasionally I attended SVU.
All the way in New York, huh?
Yeah, it was quite a travel.
So Peyton kind of like sends her mom away in a taxi, and the mom is still drunk, and she stops at a gun shop. And the way she was talking, I almost thought maybe she was going to commit suicide.
I thought she was too. I was like, oh.
But the last we see of her and Edward is she's in his bedroom and she has the gun cocked at his face and him waking up. So
I will say the cliffhangers of season 1, pretty good. Because we had Lane getting kidnapped
he got
by
kidnapped by the
Dean's
ex-partner.
crazy ex-partner, which it was interesting. I'm used to seeing, like, on my soaps, it'd be the women who are the ones who are out trying to get revenge like that. But so it's different seeing a man.
Peyton's walking up the stoop to the house, and there's somebody standing in the shadows. Yeah.
On the school field, there is a random car with a man with a paper bottle or paper set with a bottle in it chugging. No one sees it. Some creepy man.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, back to.
Oh, Peyton's cliffhanger was she's home. She's about to walk into the house, and there's a man in the shadows. And she's like, "Can I help you?" And he comes out of the shadows, and she screams Travis because the person looks like Travis, who's supposed to be dead. So that was good. I remember that being in the promos. Like, I remember the promos having her screaming Travis.
Oh,
yeah, that's like lives in my head rent free for the past 25 years.
It bought real estate. I do think that was a pretty good cliffhanger. They should have added, like, I know she wasn't at Edward's house, but if they would have did a gunshot too, but kind of would have been like, wait, Travis.
Yeah. If this was like Filthy Rich, they would have did something like that. I miss that show.
Or if it was Tomorrow's a New Day.
But I think that's pretty much everything that went on.
Yeah. Oh, well, Reese's cliffhanger, getting busted for methamphetamines.
Oh, yeah.
I think is what that was.
Probably. Yeah.
I don't know my drugs, so. Because I was like, oh, it's cocaine. But then I was like, wait, but they just said it was, yeah, whatever.
I mean, besides little things like, Peyton and Tom slept together on the casino table, but it was just for fun. It wasn't like they were pursuing anything.
I love how Peyton acts all innocent.
I liked when Reese was like making that announcement, like, "Daddy, my daddy is gonna buy Peyton a new car or whatever."
If it makes you feel better.
Because he tries to weasel out of it by being like, gifts aren't always a great representation of love or whatever. And she was like, "But if it makes you feel good, like, who are we to turn you down?"
Yeah, I love.
But I like how Peyton had her mother write the letter saying that Peyton was Edward's daughter, and she's like, "Oh, my mother wrote this letter," and she acts like she didn't know what it says, and she's like, "I'm your sister."
I'm like, clearly we're not that good of friends because Peyton has been manipulating you both.
And like you said, that TV moment where she's like, "No comment," and then she looks up and sees Reese up the stairs, and she's like, and then they have that hugging.
I did like when Reese told. There's another funny moment. Reese was making coffee, and Lane's going, "Oh," and Reese is like, "Well, thank goodness this is decaf."
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like there's some of those things, if they didn't have the Southern accent, I don't think would be as funny.
Yeah.
I think that element of that Southernness gives it that extra kind of, which makes it funny.
And Peyton ends up becoming involved with her mother's lawyer. And like we said, they went out to lunch with his mother, but then her mother showed up drunk saying she killed Travis. And that's when outside the mother was like, "Oh, I knew you were trash before your mother showed up."
And next season, Peyton probably finds some kind of dirt on his mama where she used to be a stripper or something. No, you need to call me trash.
Something unseemly.
Oh.
So overall, what did you think of the first season?
I liked it. I'm sad to know it's only 2 seasons.
But at least it got a second season.
True.
To look forward to.
And a full second season.
Which I, to this day, have not seen the whole thing.
Oh, okay, so it'll be a first.
Yeah, I think I've only watched half of it. Not because I didn't want to, I just get distracted easily by other shows.
You'll dive into 1980 something, and next thing you know, you're lost.
Yeah, I go hard on things, and then like I want to see different characters, so then it gets pushed to the side. But
no, I liked it. I would give it a 8 overall.
Yeah, I'd give it like a 7.5.
I give it an 8 because Jamie Luner is.
I was gonna say Jamie Luner was the best part of the show,
and Edward are two like
Ray
those
Wise,
are great aspects of the show.
Yeah, it was definitely a good call to add Jamie Luner to Melrose Place after this was over. Because I remember her kind of having her fake Southern accent in season 6 of Melrose, but then it kind of went away.
I was going to say that when I watched the first episode or so, she has a hint of her Savannah-isms.
Yeah. I didn't love her character in season 6, but in season 7, I really liked her character. Maybe I was just like trying to find something to love because Melrose was kind of going downhill at that point.
Yeah, poor Melrose.
And she was like a bright light and everything.
She was a bright light.
But
I'm sad she's not really doing anything now.
I know the last thing I remember her being in was towards the end of All My Children.
Mm-hmm. Let's reboot Savannah, and instead of Richard being a man, we'll make that character female, and Jamie Luner can be it.
Okay. Don't have to ask me twice.
Here comes the fan fiction.
But I think that's all I have to say about this.
Yeah, that's all I've got.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us again for our Gone Too Soon. Have no idea what our next Gone Too Soon is going to be, but excited to see something new.
I know. We'll have to dig in the vault.
As always, you could find us on all the socials at Queers and Soaps. And until next time, have a great night, guys. Bye.
Bye.